Hey!
This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself. I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the program. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. JJ, it was good to see that, I know you went to Florida, but there was part of me that was like, oh boy, he went to Florida. He probably got one of those spray tans to be like, I'm always, but look, it stayed into day two.
Do I look like a guy that would get a spray tan?
The spray tan type?
I don't think so.
I thought maybe the trip to Florida was
All
fake.
natural.
Was fake, and then you're like, no, I was in Florida this week, and then you're like, I gotta look like I went to Florida.
I can prove I didn't get the fake tan because my skin is peeling like a fruit.
Oh boy,
I'm molting.
gotta get that SPF 75 for guys like you and I.
It's all right.
More fairer skin.
I need a fresh layer. It's called good.
Fresh layer
Springs,
of
new
skin.
beginning.
I'm molting. That's not how it works. That's a bad message to the kids. Put the sunscreen on, kids. I bet you're like me, though, too. You put it on, and it still doesn't necessarily help all the time.
Dermatologist screaming at the radio dial
Hey,
right now.
I had to get
idiot.
I had to get massive. What they do is they get the melon baller out.
A scooper.
They scoop out a lot of
Gross.
your skin on your head, man. That's what I had because I'm of the fair skin type, and I have no hair on top, and so that's a bad combo.
That's a double whammy.
But you know what's funny is he was like, because we're in the same category too. Napolis, listen, don't do what we did. Us kids in the 80s who didn't even know what sunscreen was until we were about, 17? Or at least we didn't think that it did anything. I had a pool in my backyard growing up in Texas.
Oh, man.
Hot as heck. And he's like, did you have a pool growing up? I was like, yes. And he's like, yep. And you're probably born in the, early 80s, late 70s? I said, yep. He's like, yeah. You guys are getting my kids through college. That's what he said.
Yeah, he appreciates your business.
You guys, he's like, this was a 30 years ago issue for you. And I said, oh, yeah, for sure. All right, welcome to the show. Yesterday, we were lacking in local sports, being able to deliver the Jazz off, the Mammoth off.
No live games.
But, of course, the National Championship was staring us in the face last night, and we had some money on the line at my house. The kids don't put up money. Mom and Dad do. Whoever wins the Kirry pot gets $50, and there's no second place bull crap either. You know what I mean?
Should you be saying that over the radio? Is this legal?
No. We just whoever wins our family one, we just give them money. And I was like, hey, it's a little prize.
Fair enough.
It's not like the kids bought in. Hey, Maeve, you're 5. I'm taking some money out of your account. You're going to be gambling against your will. No, it's a little fun thing for everybody to be able to watch.
Teach them while they're young, right?
Yeah. By the end of it, with Michigan winning, Hank got the pot.
Congratulations, Hank.
And he's like, just Venmo me. Just hit me with Venmo. He's only 11, but
Got his own Venmo, huh? Okay.
So the 11-year-old won, the 8-year-old got second, the 5-year-old got third. We were down at the very bottom. All the people that thought that they knew something about sports. But what happened last night was at least a way better game than we got in the previous ones. UConn, well, the second half, once it got to...
Sure about that?
Once it got to about, there's like a point where it got to an 11-point lead, I think. It was like 48-37 for Michigan, and I went, okay, this might be it for them. And it was. They kind of maintained that spread the rest of the way. You saw a couple of moments, I think it was 68-64, maybe in the last 2 minutes, and then Michigan just kept their distance there, and they walked away, and they're national champions. And so there you go. 2023 national champions in football, 2026 champions in basketball. Not a bad few years for the Michigan Maize and Blue. I mean, it was weird for their football program over the past 18 months, but winning covers up everything. And as is evidenced by the fact that Michigan is on some kind of roll, man. I mean, obviously they have their history in all the different sports. They've been around a long time. It's a great school, all those things. But more importantly, the SEC doesn't get a chance to take a bite of the apple again.
It's been a rough year for the SEC.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Not even in the final.
No Final Fours.
No
teams.
Final Four teams. Alabama looks like a
No Final Four teams in football or what? Ole Miss. Who made the semifinals
I
this
think
year?
did Ole Miss? Yeah, Ole Miss went to the semis. But again, like we said when it happened, we were like, SEC people were like, yeah, I guess they're in the SEC, but that's not the ones we were talking about being our rep.
They don't count.
I was like, I don't know if that's a real thing. So let's kick off the program here because the dominance, of course, by Michigan in basketball this year, capped off by the one shining moment of winning the national championship over UConn. Let's kick it off right here. It is The Cut, top of the program.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is What Made the Cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Michigan starting to take control a little bit. 45-37, Cadeau, three, top of the key, got it! Oh, the three, Cadeau looks to the bench and stalks up the floor. The first made three of the game for Michigan. And a timeout, UConn, 48-37. The Wolverines with their largest lead. Rebound loose, scooped up by Gale. He'll throw it to the other end of the floor. Caravan tracks it down with 2 seconds. With one, he throws it to half court. And since 1989, there's been a blank space in the Michigan trophy case. Will write their name, Michigan, the 2026 men's basketball national champions. They knock off UConn 69-63 to win the school's second men's basketball championship.
There you go. That was the moment. I told you that was the moment that felt like, all right, they turned a corner. They turned a corner here. Now, the national championship game, the Fab Five went to the Natty, right? And that was the Chris Webber timeout?
Yes.
Was it against North Carolina? Is that what it was?
Yes.
Yeah, so it was, but 89 was what? Is that Glenn Rice?
That was Glenn Rice
yeah.
and I think Ramil Robinson, if I remember right.
Glenn Rice, what did he still
against Seton Hall, and it was right before Hurley played for Seton Hall. Danny Hurley played for Seton Hall, and I don't remember which years. I think it was after that, though. But it's interesting how the little bit of a crossover that existed there.
Okay, so Glenn Rice, does he still own the NCAA record for, was it a single tournament or maybe all-time tournament? He averaged something crazy in that run per game. He
holds the all-time NCAA tournament record for total points in a single tournament, scoring 184.
So the average was
during the 1989 run.
So the average was like 38 or something.
Divided by 6, yeah.
Crazy. Yep. So yeah, and and that was one of the great. His performance in the NCAA tournament got him to the point
averaged 30.7 points per game.
And he was a good look. He was a good NBA player.
Oh yeah, he's probably. I mean, I would consider him a Hall of Fame player.
Is he he's not like a top 75 or top 100, but I think
not quite. But he's in the next tier.
He's right there. So that guy was fun to watch. And the thing, like the Fab Five, they didn't win a natty.
Former jazz band Glenn Rice, by the way.
No, that's right.
For a day.
You have that jersey too?
I wish.
Derrick Rose, Glenn Rice.
2 Russell Westbrooks.
2 Russell Westbrooks.
Not
that's
one,
right.
But 2.
Yeah. When he got the Mountain Blue one, I thought that was a good time.
Yeah.
I thought that was
his better run in a jazz uniform.
So here we go. You have a national champion. Michigan winning it made something pretty interesting that I saw come through it was some alert from one of the the news agencies, and they said with Michigan winning the national championship in basketball, it's the first time that the Big Ten as a conference won the national championship in basketball and in both men's and women's, right? Is that it? Is that what the full thing was? They did something else. What was the other thing?
Big Ten?
Yeah. Oh, no. It's the Big
football.
Ten. I was just thinking of Michigan myself. I was just thinking of Michigan only.
Michigan is the only school in NCAA history with 2 national championships in football, basketball, and baseball.
Oh, that's right. So they have, and the Big Ten has Indiana, of course, your national champions in football. Michigan, of course, in men's basketball, and then UCLA, of course, that old traditional Big Ten.
Yeah.
UCLA, the winners of the
quite a
the
Big
women's
Ten
national
history
championship.
UCLA has.
But what that means is something that I wish we could do, which is if you sweep something like that, if you sweep basketball and football in a year, then you get to decide how the NCAA, well, it's not even NCAA, you get to decide how the college football playoff goes for the next year. So the Big Ten, who obviously wants 16 or 24, they prefer the 24. The Big Ten goes, we get to choose. We get to choose. We're going 24 teams this year. Let's do it. And look, and the SEC can go, yeah, you guys won it or whatever. But listen, everybody, including Greg Sankey. Now, Greg Sankey's the kind of guy that'll pretend like nobody is still. He really does believe like, no, the SEC is still superior. I think the Big Ten's just gotten lucky the last couple of years. That's the kind of attitude that a guy like Greg Sankey would have. And he'd go, I don't worry about our institutions. We're the most important people on the planet. Now, Phillips, is it Jim Phillips? No, Petiti? Yeah, is it Petiti or is it one is the ACC and one is Big Ten, and I just got him flipped in my head.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah, okay. So Petiti is the commissioner of the Big Ten.
Correct.
That guy needs to roll up and go, hey, I love all of the power that we love our friends to the south, the conference down south. Oh, come on, the conference down south.
That conference down south.
The SEC's all the conference out west and up north, and actually some to the east, and a lot down kind of in the Midwest and South too. So if you win it, Petiti should be walking around town with that chest puffed out, and you shouldn't be able to push everybody else around. Now, does the SEC still get a lot of good TV ratings? Yes. But the Big Ten is still, I would say the Big Ten probably gets more television ratings, generally because the mass populations of our country are gathered in places where the Big Ten lives, and that's
correct.
Where television tends
and they're cold weather climates where people are more likely to be inside, either in
Right.
their homes or in bars.
Right. Depressed about their lives. Wait, what?
Watching games.
So my thought is that the Big Ten, are we watching a changeover of the guard? We certainly have seen it in football.
We're more than watching. It has already happened.
The changeover in guard from football was pretty stark because it wasn't just about Indiana finding success. It was also about the big-time powers that used to be in the SEC not looking like they're anywhere near ready to take on that next challenge of getting not just to the college football playoff. Because here's what's crazy, too, is that same conference gets the nod and the thumbs up prior to anything really actually happening. We're waiting for people like Notre Dame, or not Notre Dame, like Alabama. Notre Dame's also in that. We're waiting for these programs. Your Alabamas, your Floridas, your everybody out of the SEC, look at it and you go, LSU. People are looking at Lane Kiffin and they're going, man, I hate that guy. But probably preseason number 7. Like, you know what I mean? How they do that? They're like, I hate that guy. Man, LSU's going to be really good. In the same breath. Because they just give the automatic, like, even though LSU's been an absolute mess over the past few years, they get a new coach in who's had relative success over at Ole Miss, obviously. I mean, the most success of any coach at Ole Miss. But compared to, like, Alabama and the expectations of places like even LSU in comparison to Ole Miss, like, I mean,
throw Texas in there, Oklahoma.
Yeah, those are teams that get the automatic, like, hey, you're a big blue blood. We're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. We'll put you in the top 10 before the season starts. And I hope that people look at this and go, the SEC has had its fair share of success, but the Big Ten is better in basketball and in football, obviously, too. But the ACC is not the power in basketball that it used to be. The Big Ten and the SEC in basketball, people look at and go, those are your standards for basketball, probably in that order. And I think that a lot has changed. And I think it's changed for the better from a quality of talent standpoint. From the competitiveness, I don't think it has gotten much better. But I mean, think about the Oregon Indiana game was that the semifinal? That was one of the semifinals? Yeah. Indiana and Oregon. What was it? 50? It was already like 35-0.
It was embarrassing.
It was terrible. It was terrible for Oregon. And that's not competitive, obviously. Luckily, Miami put up a fight against Indiana in the national championship game. Otherwise, we would have been watching. I mean, frankly, the game last night, you knew how that thing was going to end when it got to about that point, when it was with about 8 minutes or 9 minutes left in the game. The thing that you talked about yesterday, what did you call Michigan? Just a meat grinder or something like that. They're just gonna.
Well, UConn was going to slow the game down to a snail's pace, and they would have to out-rebound Michigan, and they did.
Yes.
Everything UConn had to do to win that game, they did. They held them to just 2 of 15 shooting from 3. They out-rebounded them 46-39. Who out-rebounds Michigan? UConn found a way to do it. And they did everything they possibly could to win that game, and it still wasn't enough. 13 more free throws made for Michigan was really the difference in the game.
And that's what
to make up for the discrepancy in the three-point shooting. UConn made 7 more threes than they did.
2 for 15 from the line from behind the arc, and they won the national championship.
It's crazy. But you look at the numbers for Michigan, and this is one of the most dominant runs we've seen in an NCAA tournament in quite some time. They won their first 5 games by an average of 21.6 points.
Goes to the point of what Jerry Palm said yesterday, right?
Yes.
He's like, they just blow everybody out of the water.
Well, they're the first team to score 90-plus points in 5 consecutive games in a single tournament, all time. And they won all games by double digits, including the national championship game that was considered a close game that UConn slowed down to a snail's pace. They still won by 13.
Right.
They won all the games by 13. Sorry, they did not win by 13. They won by 6. But the other games, they won by at least 13 points. They absolutely dominated this tournament, and it's one of the most. I mean, that Arizona team was really good. They beat them by 18, and it was actually worse than that.
Yeah, I was going to say
it was tied
30
for the largest margin in a 1 versus 1 seed game.
It was 30 at one point in that second half, and I think Arizona made it like semi not as embarrassing.
And another thing that's interesting about Michigan is they were 8-23 2 years ago. They pulled their coach from Florida Atlantic after making an incredible run to a Final Four with a team that never even sniffed the Final Four. Dusty May is top 3 coach in the country right now, if not the best coach in the country.
Well, that's why I think it was North Carolina's first choice, right?
Oh, it was him or
Tommy Lloyd was the other guy.
Lloyd.
But I think either way.
They thought they could go get those guys, and they couldn't. Because why would those guys leave where they're at?
I'm glad they both stayed. And frankly, I don't know how long Michigan's going to be good because it's hard to put together.
Well, here's an interesting thing. You bring up how good is Michigan going to be? All their starters were transfers.
I know they showed that yesterday. The only team in the only team like in the latter stages of the tournament,
in the Elite Eight,
Duke was the only one that had everybody that started at that school, and they're still there.
Yeah.
I mean, congratulations to John Shire because that bucks the trend like crazy. I don't care what your institution is, but yeah, was it all 5 guys played at different schools at some point? Yeah, for Michigan.
Yaxel Landenborg played at Arizona Western and Yuma, Arizona. It's crazy. The guys that they pulled together and cobbled together in that team, and then they became one of the most dominant NCAA tournament teams we've seen in the modern era.
So if you're Yaxel Landenborg, by the way, is a name that has come up a little bit when we talk about a guy who could go to the Utah Jazz. And because I think he's a top 7 pick, right, in the draft, top 5 to 7.
He's in that top 8 range, someone that they would absolutely consider and probably work out depending on where they're at.
What do they get with Yaxel Landenborg?
You get size. You did not see his best.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Last night, he was compromised. There's no doubt about that. But he's 6'9", 240. He averages 15 points per game this year. He can rebound. He averaged 7 rebounds. Good shooter.
I love that size, man.
So the size is 6'9", 240. I mean, that's a power forward. You watched him last night, and he was compromised, but you see physically what he is.
So he'd be Cam Boozer after Cam Boozer goes. That type of
I think so, yeah.
Because
same position, same body build.
Yeah.
I think Yaxel might be slightly more athletic.
Okay.
Is he as good offensively as Cam Boozer? No.
I'm just trying to prepare Jazz fans to be excited about.
Is he athletic or more athletic? I would say yes.
When they pick Yaxel Landenborg at 7 in the draft, I mean, I hate to do it to us, but I have to prep my brains for this.
He shot 37% from 3 this year at 6'9".
That's pretty awesome. I just feel good. I don't feel good about what the draft looks like, but I feel good about going. I like what that kid did for Michigan, took him to a national championship.
If it's just an absolute disaster again in the lottery, This is a year where you can be like, well, okay, at least we got a shot at a really, really good player at 6, 7, or 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or 5 or
No,
wherever
that's
it
what I
ends
don't
up.
want. I don't want the 6'2", 6'3" guard anymore.
That's fair. I think that the Jazz have enough of those guys.
100%. And I don't get – it would not help my mind of what we're looking for as people who follow this Jazz team to say, I want that guy on this starting 5 that we've already had made up in our head.
I just pulled up a random mock draft, all right? Guess who's at number 8? Yaxel Lendeborg. And that's obviously as far back down as the Jazz could possibly fall if they keep the pick. So there's a couple other guys that land just outside of that. Mikael Brown from Louisville, Braden Burries of Arizona, Chris Sinak from Houston, Nate Ament from Tennessee if he ends up going into the draft. But if you get higher than 8, yeah, you're in that range of 6'6", Keaton Wagler from Illinois, Kingston Fleming, 6'4", from Houston, Darius Acuff, 6'2", 190, point guard from Arkansas. These are great players. Really, really great freshman players. Every single player in the top 7 is a freshman. And 9 of the top 10 are freshmen in this draft. Lendeborg is the only senior that's even in the let me see, is there another senior that's even in the first round projected here? All the way down to Bennett Sturtz of Iowa at 20.
Okay.
So it's a very freshman heavy. It anticipated to be. We'll start seeing all these guys make their announcements that they're going to leave. But you're looking at A.J. DeBonsa, Darren Peterson, Cam Boozer, Caleb Wilson, Darius Acuff. I'm kind of with you. Like, what do the Jazz need ideally in this draft? You're going to try to take the best player available as always. But I think they need to add another wing, and I think everybody understands and knows that DeBonsa is the prize, and he's the guy that they would want and that would be the ideal fit. Now, of course, you could make Darren Peterson fit nicely into that lineup as well. And he's versatile. He could play point guard or shooting guard at 6'5", 6'6".
Right. Okay.
But you watched the game last night and you see Yaxel Lendeborg struggling, but it's because he was injured. If you've watched college basketball this season and you've seen how good this freshman class is, man, if you're anywhere in the top 8, you're coming away with a player that's going to be a difference maker for you for the next decade if you can keep him around. This draft is loaded. It's really, really good. And the Jazz are going to be a part of it before they exit the rebuild and begin a new chapter as a team that's going to be in the playoffs from here on out for a long, long time.
We're going to take a break. Congratulations to the Big Ten for being better than the SEC. I think we all kind of, it's like the lesser of two evils. I don't know. Do you feel that way? I feel like
I'm so tired of the SEC's arrogance that I'm kind of okay with it. But it won't take long before it's like, okay.
It's not like the Big Ten
Big Ten has all the money and all the power, and they're kicking everybody in the teeth, and then all of a sudden they become the conference everybody hates.
They've already been like that, though, too. Teams like Michigan and Ohio State think that their stuff
There's
don't
definitely
stink
been
either.
an elitist feel to it, but
Places like Penn State, who haven't done really anything, but then they go,
right,
we're Penn State, and then you're like, well, yeah, but when was the last time we won a national championship? Was it 86?
Yeah.
86?
Yeah.
I mean, hell,
Iowa.
Notre Dame has won more championships.
What has Iowa
since
done
then.
except produce tight ends and punters and corn?
All right. The band?
Well,
Korn. Okay. Just wondering. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. Hey, when we do return, we got a couple things going on. We are going to fire it up for another. We're firing it up for another Masters, Copper Rock Masters giveaway. We're going to qualify somebody with a golfer. We're also going to chat with Bob Casper, who is going to be in Augusta, of course, because it is a tradition unlike any other. Having Bob and having Bob on is like a tradition because, obviously when your dad's a former champion, that's pretty awesome. But he and Brian Taylor this week joining us, giving us some breakdowns, of course, of the best major on planet Earth on one of the best weekends, of course. So we're excited about it. We'll come back. Before we do, though, is it Tuesday today? Let's fire it up. We got a Jazz Ticket Tuesday. Let's do it.
It's Jazz Ticket Tuesday, and your chance to win tickets is right now.
Call this number now.
Call this number now.
Be caller number 12 at 801-575-ZONE. 801-575-ZONE. And you'll be on your way to Delta Center to see the Utah Jazz.
He fires the three. He hits. Oh, don't do me like that.
This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
I've got tickets to
giveaway.
I got tickets to give away.
Sorry.
to the last Jazz home game of the season.
Yes.
JJ's like, they're not at home. I was like, huh? I was
Sorry.
like, what? They're not at home. You
You're
can't go on the air with that.
They're talking about tonight's game.
JJ, listen, I get a lot of stuff
I'm
wrong.
sorry.
That was the only one time that I knew what I was talking about. The one time.
We're all crossed up.
Jazz Ticket Tuesday, 801-575-ZONE. Caller number 12 gets a pair of tickets to the last Jazz home game of the season against the Grizzlies. That is going to be, of course, Friday? Yes.
This is the last week of the season.
It is. Thank heavens.
Oh, my gosh.
Last home game. Last chance for you to be able to win some Jazz tickets on a Jazz Ticket Tuesday, 801-575-ZONE. Bob Casper joins us next. We're going to qualify a listener to attach himself to a golfer, get that Copper Rock Masters giveaway. Stay with us, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The biggest name.
You're locked into JJ and Alex. With the insight and analysis on the teams you can't live without. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This 2026 Masters Update live from Augusta is brought to you by Copper Rock, where the pros play on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
What music is this?
Are we looking through the hourglass right now? What are we doing?
Is this the beginning of a soap opera? Or is it just the poor man's, we didn't pay for the rights to the Masters music? Oh, yeah.
These are the days of our lives.
I get it. For commercial purposes, you get the Trashters version of the music.
This is not a tradition unlike any other.
Look,
Nice try, though.
Look, it's just like people this week are making their own pimento cheese sandwiches. It's not the same if you're not there at
Can
the
you
Masters.
do that? Or is
Are you allowed?
some
Somebody-
lawyer going to show up at your house? You can't make those?
Oh, I watched the Masters.
Cease and desist.
I watched the Masters this week, and I had an egg salad sandwich. That doesn't put you at Augusta.
Hopefully
right?
you didn't eat it in your car.
All right. Somebody who has enjoyed Augusta many, many, many times. He, of course, host of Real Golf Radio. He and Brian Taylor, BT, do a phenomenal job.
The best.
Bob Casper joining us on the program. Bob, how many of these trips have you taken to old Augusta?
Oh, my.
I'm making you do all math. Math on the air is not fun, but I just figured people already know the history that you have. But I to imagine how many times, I just want to go once.
Probably 35.
Wow. So cool.
Brian's been here 25, and this is our, 18th in the media center with
That's
the show.
awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well,
But you guys almost had me falling asleep with that music.
I know, right? If it doesn't have the real piano hook to it, it doesn't hit right. It doesn't hit the same way. But
Yeah, no Jim Nance either. Sorry about that.
We're not paying the $1 million for those rights,
We
though,
can't
Bob.
afford
You
it here.
understand?
It's a low-budget show.
No.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we were bummed to see Tony not get into his first Masters since 2018, and his first major since 2017. He's been in every one of them since 2017. It's quite the run. Before we get into the people who are playing in this thing, when Tony didn't make it, is that an indicative thing of kind of where his game is going, or just kind of the way that last year went and some of the qualifiers they just don't always land the same way?
Well, he struggled last year, was very up and down, and finished out of the top 50 on the tour. And because that happened, if he would have got into the Tour Championship, which he's been in the Tour Championship just about every year, if he was able to do that and get in the Tour Championship, then, of course, he would be here in the Masters and exempt to play in every single major championship. So because he finished out of the top 50 and because he's outside the top 100 in the world, then he doesn't get into the Masters. And it'll be interesting to see which of the majors he's automatically exempt for, but I would think maybe not the U.S. Open or the Open Championship, probably the PGA Championship.
When you look at the field now, Rory McIlroy got his last year, and that was such a special moment. That monkey's off of his back. Who's that guy that has the pressure this year? Does that fall on anybody, or do you think that's not really a thing in this year's tournament?
Well, I think the pressure was the buildup of Rory needing to get the Masters for his fourth leg of the career Grand Slam, and he didn't get it till his 13th try. So 11th try as far as getting or playing for the career Grand Slam.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that was the big pressure. As far as the pressure for anybody else, I don't think it's sniffing being as close as Rory's was last year or the last 10 or 11 years. Now, having said that, you've got guys that have finished close, like Bryson, or Justin Rose, who's finished second 3 times. And Phil Mickelson was one of those guys that finished a second a bunch of times and then was able to get one. So there's not the pressure with anybody like that. And there are definitely some guys that could really get into the mix of this that are really good players.
We were talking about the odds-on favorites that Vegas will give you, and it's one thing to say, hey, these guys are playing really well. It's a combo of this person's playing well. They're also kind of getting hot now. They've strung together a lot of great tournaments. Who are the people that you look at? Because I was thinking about a guy like Cam Young, for example, who is playing phenomenal golf right now, and that's a name that I think could make that type of a move. But the Masters does funny things to people, and maybe that's not a tournament that he does particularly well at. I don't know. Who are the people that you look at and you go, they tend to play well here, and they're lining up their golf game really well, because all those things have to come together on a special weekend like this?
Well, Justin Rose played in 21 Masters, and he's had 3 runner-up finishes, and he lost to Rory last year in the playoff. He's lost in 2 playoffs here. So I think if you're going to look at an older set guy, a guy that's been around here, has matured in his play around this golf course and understands the golf course, I would say Justin Rose would be a guy that you got to look at. Cameron Young definitely hits it long, hits a high draw. All those things promote really good play or the ability to score on this golf course. So he's definitely one that I would look at, Cameron Young. Maybe Bryson, by virtue of his play last year and just missing out and wanting to come back and play well. And he's coming off of 2 wins on LIV at the last 2 weeks that they've played. Mm-hmm. Matthew Fitzpatrick, who won just a few weeks ago, another good player that has a chance. Xander Schauffele, another one that has 2 majors now already. He's got the Open Championship and the PGA Championship, but this would be the 3rd leg of the career Grand Slam where he'd go on and win this one and win the Masters. Of course, Scotty. Let me see who else.
Did you say Alberg yet? Because that's a guy that I keep thinking is going to do well. Yeah. That's Brian Taylor's pick on Real Golf Radio. He's thinking Ludwig Oberg, and he's played twice here and he's finished 2nd and 7th. Yeah. So he's got a runner up and a top 10. So there, you got to look at him because this is another golf course that he can play extremely well. High draw to straight ball hitter, a really, really good player, and looks like things don't faze him at all. Let me see. If you have to pick a rookie, a guy that could win in his first try, you got to look at Chris Gotterup, who's already won twice here on the PGA Tour this year. So he's a great player. I think those are some of the ones that I look at. There's about 5 or 6 or 7 that I just told you there.
You mentioned Chris Gotterup, and I'm looking at I don't know if you have any data on this, if you've looked in the past, but how important is it how often do you see the Masters winner and you look at what they did previous to the Masters that year? Did they win some events earlier? How important is it to come into the Masters hot? Does that even matter?
It does. Yeah, it does. Scotty, the interesting thing about Scotty is Scotty Scheffler, the last time he played was the Players' Championship, and then he was supposed to play at Houston a few weeks ago, and his wife was going to have their baby, and so he stayed home, and he's been at home practicing for the last 3 weeks, and he hasn't played since, like I said, the Players' Championship, but in listening to him in his press conferences today, he's feels, and his big thing is he prepares. He doesn't focus on winning, but he prepares when he plays to go and compete at the best that he can do. And I think he will compete again this week and be right there in the top 10 or top 5.
Are there guys who play really, really well, and then this course just doesn't? Is there a certain style of play? Is what I want to ask about this particular course, because you could be really, really good, maybe over here or over there, but when you come into the Masters, whose type of game is the best for this course?
Well, you got to be able to hit the ball high, which a guy like Scotty or Rory or Cameron Young or Oberg or there's a lot of guys on tour that hit the ball high and work it both directions, right to left, left to right. Okay, and not work it hard right to left or hard right left to right, but just have it falling that direction, one way or the other. Off the tee balls on this golf course, a lot of them really play into a person's ability to hit it right to left off the tee, draw the ball. And length is always a huge factor here. So a guy that can hit it long and then draw it a little bit, hit fade shots going into greens, and a guy who's a pretty dang good putter will be a guy that can win here.
Is the weather supposed to hold up this weekend, Bob?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes. Yeah, it's nice and sunny today. It's going to be like 80s on the weekend,
nice.
On Saturday and Sunday. And it's going to be in the maybe high 60s, low 70s, low to mid 70s throughout the majority of the week.
Just making sure. I can't have my Sunday Masters weekend ruined by something that goes into a Monday. I always hate that. So I'm glad to hear
it's not going to.
Awesome.
It's not going to.
Bob Casper, he and Brian Taylor, of course, Real Golf Radio is where we can hear their insights, of course, every weekend right here on the KSL Sports Zone. Bob, we're going to chat with you more during the week, but, man, thanks for dipping in with us, and enjoy the egg salad sandwiches.
Oh, that's one of my favorite, and I put a little Tabasco on it, and it's really good.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Bob, thanks, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Take care, guys.
I didn't want to say it while Bob was on the air, but JJ doesn't like the egg salad sandwiches.
Just don't eat them in the car.
Just don't eat them in close quarters.
Don't do that.
It's like, I'm gonna eat these. I'm going to eat this sandwich here, and then let's all go to bed inside this submarine.
Oh, my gosh. Dr. Evil over here.
No, thanks. Real Golf Radio brought to you by Mountain America Credit Union, of course, on the weekends, Mountain Land Supply, Black Desert Resorts, and Hoops Vision. Also, you went to golf. All partners with the folks on Real Golf Radio. Bob and BT do such an awesome job. We will come back. We've got more to go. Oh, should we qualify a golfer right here? Let's qualify a golfer. Since we're talking about the Masters, the Copper Rock Masters giveaway goes like this. You're calling number 12 right now, 801-575-ZONE. That's 801-575-ZONE, 801-575-9663. You get yourself assigned a player or the field, and then whoever wins this one, if it's your golfer that you get assigned, you get 18 holes for 2 at Copper Rock Golf Course down in Hurricane, and then a $100 gas gift card as well. Copper Rock, where the pros play. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. More to go right around the corner. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Listen, everybody! Real-life hypotheticals to get your brain churning. As JJ and Alex ask, would you rather?
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Thanks for being with us on the show. It is a beautiful day outside today, by the way. I usually am not that guy to go, it's nice out. But
hey, we got 5 minutes here. Let's talk about the weather.
How about it, JJ? I went outside. I just noticed it was beautiful out there. Normally, I put on a little bit of a light jacket. I didn't need it.
Unseasonably warm this spring.
That's right. Boy, you said it.
Hope the blossoms are okay. Don't want to lose my fruit this year.
Oh, boy, now we're getting into some hilarious stuff. You start talking about, I had to cover my tomatoes this last weekend.
Tomatoes.
JJ, you've been to Empower Field, yes?
Empower Field, remind me, because the name's changed.
Oh, I
Whose
thought it
field's
was
that?
That's pretty embarrassing. I thought it was your Broncos, isn't it?
Empower Field at Mile High. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, now
I didn't
I'm
go the
with
full
you.
name. Sorry.
I have not.
You've never been?
I've never been to a Broncos game.
I am shook.
I know.
Bro, you grew up?
I know.
Bro, we got to get you out there.
I have family members that have been. My 18-year-old's been. I've never been.
We should do like this.
Do you want to know why I've never been?
Huh? Why?
Do you want to know why I've never been?
Carissimo.
I work Sundays
Oh, that's right.
for the last 20-plus years.
You
I
can't
have
take
not
one?
had it.
You can't take one? Well, during
What
football
day?
season, it's even harder.
What day in football season am I taking off?
If they play in a Thursday night game this year, come on.
Hopefully I'm
Hey,
free.
Hey, how
Hopefully
about
I'm
this?
free.
How about this?
No, I can't. We got Thursday night football this year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. My dad.
Maybe.
Sorry,
hopefully.
this year can't do it.
We'll see.
2026, 2027 out. But my dad, when I was a kid, we did a Saturday playoff game for the Cowboys.
Oh, that's cool.
You know the divisional rounds they play.
Yeah,
Not all of them,
course.
but some of them are.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that it happened to be. And by the way, like we weren't rolling in cash when I was a kid. It was semi-accessible for a middle-class family in the Dallas-Fort Worth area to go to a playoff game at Cowboy Stadium, and it didn't. And it wasn't. It was pretty far away. We were pretty far away, but we were in the building, you know. And anyway, I just thought I was thinking about this because in Power Field, that means you have no idea some of the concessions that they have there. Okay.
Unfortunately, no.
So the number one
I'd
seller.
have to phone a friend.
Oh yeah, the number one seller. They have a couple things. The Mile High Madness pastrami sandwich. It's 2 pounds of.
You had me at pastrami.
It's 2 pounds.
2 pounds. I'm in.
Of corned beef, pastrami, Swiss cheese. Gosh, I can't.
Sure,
say
you
the
couldn't
rest.
do another pound.
Sauerkraut.
Don't hold back.
Are you a kraut guy?
I don't mind kraut on
do.
pastrami.
That's what I'm saying.
Kraut on a Polish. I'm in.
Yes. Now they do have a Juicy Lucy burger there as well.
Oh,
They have Wagyu beef
Love
Wagyu beef meatballs, Wagyu beef balls. But their number one seller, they do also have a Jackalope Mac snack, which is it's a dog with mac and cheese on it.
Nice.
I don't hate that at all. The number one seller at Empower Field at Mile High is the Assassin Burger. And it was inspired by the assassin, Steve Atwater, the legendary safety. It's at the Atwater Grill there at the stadium. If you're a former player, you can fire yourself up there. You ready for this? A 3/4 pound burger stacked with the smashed patties, okay? Pepper jack cheese, pickled jalapenos, habanero bacon jam.
Oh, jalapeno bacon jam.
Okay? So nosebleed
That
seats.
sounds amazing.
Nosebleed seats at Empower Field during a playoff game, eating an assassin burger, or sitting on one hole for one day at the Masters, having a classic Masters barbecue pork sandwich and a Georgia peach ice cream cookie sandwich.
Broncos.
Really?
I know golf people are like, shut up. Yeah, I'm a Broncos fan. Like I just told you, I've never been to Empower
Yeah,
Field.
when you said it
Mile
like
High.
that. See, I assumed
I
you'd
would
gone.
watching my Broncos in a playoff game, eating that burger
Yeah.
sounds amazing.
Oh, and just because you'd be eating the burger, and it would also be seasoned with the tears of joy that you'd be
Oh my
eating
gosh!
the burger.
Now
with.
look, it's not lost on me how special it would be to have
Right.
that kind of a Masters
Yeah.
moment. Mm-hmm. You know, spare me the pimento, but you're talking about that.
I'm not talking
that
about
pork
the
sandwich.
The pork sandwich is also the pork sandwich is the number 3 seller. Egg salad and pimento are, but I think people get those not because they like egg salad and pimento. It's because they're like, I'm at the Masters. The pimento cheese sandwich is maybe the most overrated thing on planet Earth.
Pass on the fart sandwich. I'm having the I'm having the barbecue pork.
Which one's the fart sandwich? The egg one?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Gross.
Full of protein though, right? Come on.
Is it?
And Duke's mayo. Oh yeah. All right. We'll we'll take a break. Before we do, Win Ticket Wednesday tomorrow on the program. You're going to be able to win tickets to second week in a row. By the way, we're giving away Weezer, the Shins, and Silver Sun pickups at the Maverick Center coming up on September 15th. You can win those tickets tomorrow, or you can go livenation.com, get those tickets today. We'll be doing this giveaway during all the programs tomorrow on our Win Ticket Wednesday, so stay tuned. We'll take a quick break. We will come back. When we return, let's talk Mammoth. Let's talk about the rest of the season with Travis Yost. He covers the NHL for TSN. He will dip in on what this team's doing right now late in the season and how they can maintain that wild card 1 spot. Stay here, 97.5 VKSL Sports Zone.